Coffee? Check. Water? Check.
Chips? Check.
All right, gang, so just woke up in Green Bay. We are getting picked up by Dr. Ravi, and then we're gonna head to the practice to get a whole bunch of content in. It's gonna be sweet. He's on his way to pick us up now, and then we will be on the way to Club 5.
So as we move forward, I can show you a lot of beers that we have.
So you guys in the herbs?
I want to let you know, I won't turn down anything. So I'm not going to give you an excuse. So if it's needing that you feel, okay, I'm going to give everything an open opportunity. I have an open mind about it. You'll get used to me eventually.
Ideally for this one, this is our test run. Now we're getting 2 more, which are going to be double the size of this. And then we're going to be able to fit a recliner in there, which with an AC and then an oxygen mask that you can utilize. So you can utilize that one in here as well. But that one's going to be a little bit more powerful, but this will still do the job.
Copy that.
We have a 24/7 medical director on call as we need it. There's a video cam on there. We need to check and all that stuff.
Is that right? Really?
Yeah.
So if you guys have a patient that's kind of difficult, just immediate help.
Yep, immediate help. Or we have cycling physicians going back and forth, so they can pretty much come in and reset the plan or change anything if we need to. But lots of opportunities with this machine here, with the right.
Right. Sorry, I'm just going to sit down.
Yeah.
You guys got to forgive me for a second. I'm just going to take this off.
And then we're looking at the mitochondria to enhance the energy production, so that way we can really optimize growth of cell.
Mm-hmm.
And then also looking at healing the nerves.
And the nerves can actually be healed.
Yeah, it takes a long time. So for example, let's talk a little bit more about what a nerve does, right? There's opportunities for the nerve to communicate. Now if the communication piece is not there, the cells around it, the organs, the functionality from all those pieces does not get communicated back to the brain, which then is cell death, and then improper function or less function and all that stuff. Now with the healing of nerve, there's a lot of fat tissue around it. Depending on if the nerve is gone, if it's severed, if there's compression, if there's long-term damage, we can really take that nerve and start healing the actual tissue with stem cells. If you're not consistent, then it doesn't really, it'll help further.
Yeah, just for then, and then will it retard that? Or it just stay where it is?
It depends. So for example, as you use your cells, as you use your nerve,
Gotcha.
it has to replenish, right?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be, it's kind of like the way of life. You use, it
Yeah,
degrades,
yeah.
and then you have to continue
Don't
to
use,
heal.
yeah, right.
So the concept of the stem cells is continuously add them in there so that way they can become a functional unit. It could be either muscle, soft tissue, you can make them become nerve, whatever you need in the body.
Excuse my frowning right now. It's not listening to you. It's just, yeah, it's just a lot of pain
Painful?
right now. Yeah. So I've been trying to hydrate myself because I didn't drink enough on a plane. So I'm overhydrated now. My urine is just clear. And I'm like leaking like a faucet right now. Not in my underwear. I'm talking going to the bathroom. Just want to be clear. Because I see a little dribble on you. And I'm not sure if you have that. Again, you can imagine how much pain and how crazy I feel right now with my jokes. So I'm even taking after you right now. Like I said, I'll be honest about everything and open. My nerve pain is wild. I think I was explaining to you, but like the sensation that we all get when we have to go to the bathroom to let us know, that immediately sends me to a 10. And then if however long I wait before I can get to the restroom, it just continues to increase. And then when I'm actually relieving myself, we all do that like, I'm
Pain.
almost in tears until I'm completely done with that. So that don't make no sense how that can be connected to my leg.
I mean, their nerves are connected all throughout the body, right? And as you utilize certain muscles, as you utilize certain areas of your joints, you will have that nerve follow through the entire body. I'll go through a little bit more about what the nervous system looks like from a picture standpoint and a video, so you'll have a better idea of it.
This is what he sent me. He said he wanted me to see a neurologist. But what he was explaining is like, they cut the nerve. So we already know, and I watched amputee, surgery. So they didn't grab the nerve and pull it back far enough and cut it so it snaps way up here. So he was saying, what I think is going on is the nerve is trying to grow and it just bundled into a knot. and it's just going crazy now. It's just going all over the place. He goes, that's the only explanation I can come up with.
And it's also
You have that
telling
type
your
of
body
pain.
that there's something wrong here. Because
Yeah.
as the nerve heals, the sensation, the sensory input is going to start tracking. And now the nerve's like, all right, I got to deliver this message to the brain so the brain can do something about it. That's why you're feeling that.
Right. And I've talked to amputees all over the world, just hundreds of thousands, literally. All my surgeons, all my neurologists, and when I tell them about that urine, they all just stare at me like I'm an alien. They're like, never heard that in our lives. So that's really like defeating when other people haven't shared that, you know what I mean? So yeah, it'd be nice to try to find out what's going on with that. So I'm okay now, I can walk now.
Why did even Club 5 become to what it is right now? We strategize on understanding what really health is and how each pillar is really important. So the Club 5 really stands for the integration of all 5 of these pillars.
Copy that, makes
So-
sense.
Integrative medicine is a combination of the allopathic medical realm with a combination of alternative technology and bridging those gaps together to really fine-tune the body's healing capacity. And then also, when we utilize physical therapy in combination with chiropractic is joints, physical therapy is movement of the muscles. So obviously joints and muscles work in a harmonious way to really perform function. So we utilize them as a combination to really start optimizing wellness, optimizing function and movement. And then we also utilize holistic health. So instead of looking at just the specific symptom, we're looking at the entire body to realize, why is this actually happening? What in your body is affecting this area? Is it a compensation? Is it a problem because of a certain injury, or is it just a cascade of different reactions that are occurring
Could
from
you-
the body?
Could you, because I've never known, yeah, I hear holistic all the time, holistic. I really don't know what it means. What does it really mean? Because I don't think most people are throwing it out there in the right way.
They're not. So imagine the mind,
Okay.
the body, the spirit. All 3 things is a combination from a whole body health. That's holistic health.
Okay. Yeah. Most people I hear, they are not talking about it that way at all whatsoever. Okay. And I hate being ignorant about saying a word and not knowing what it means.
Some people use holistic, while others are using holistic.
Yes.
WH
Yes.
instead
Yeah.
of HO.
Is there a difference?
For sure. Because they look at it only from the holistic, meaning just the body. And there is a holistic way of just looking at the body, right? But he's talking about holistic, HO, which has to encompass all different things, right? Mind, body, and spirit.
I'm just shaking my head because just the ignorance that's going out there with throwing that word around. So in MMA, they use it a lot. They're not talking about that. They're talking about, well, yeah. They're just talking about it in a different way. I'm sure you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of different pieces to health, and once we fine-tune all of these things together, then we're going to optimize results, optimize our capacity to heal, efficiency, sustainability, anti-aging, all those pieces. Lastly, we are looking at fitness, which you're pretty much a pioneer in. And as we look at fitness, if we don't heal and then maintain, the functionality degrades. So we want to make sure we're optimizing fitness to really incorporate that longevity of wellness
Sure.
and functionality.
Sure.
Any questions on this?
Not at all. It all makes sense. I mean, I've been in this world forever, so when you kind of say things, it just clicks with me. And it completely makes sense because I remember back in the chiropractic world, so I used to go and get cracked up all the time back in my days, and deep tissue work. And they hated each other, right? They both talked about each other horribly back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a joke. Both of them thought it was a joke. And now you see them jointly together, so it just makes sense to me.
The medical realm and the chiropractic realm didn't really align as well
Nope.
either. So now looking at all these pillars, if we take away the tunnel vision, the ego, the pride, and really focus on the actual patient,
Yeah.
now we can really change the game of healing.
You're right, because those all individuals, the medical industry thought chiropractic was a joke. Oh no, you can't go in and get that. That's going to make it worse. So yeah, it's really interesting Because I'm not so sure that I've seen any or too many clinics that put all 5 of these together. Maybe 2, maybe 3. You know, you get a lot that do the hormone replacement and they do a little bit of this, but I'm not sure if I've seen all of them, all 5 put together. So you explaining that to me, like I said, I'm always going to be honest with you, even if I hurt your feelings, because I don't think I'm going to help you to help me. If I lie about something or water something down, you need to know the raw. So I've always said, and I told you in the other room, I don't have faith. I just don't think it's going to happen. So seeing all these 5 tied together, it gets me excited of the possibilities now. It does. But yeah, I've given up hope. I don't want to say I don't have faith. Yeah, I do. Of course I do. I meant that's the wrong way. I just lost hope. And being around the world and having so many things done, you have no idea. I've been around the world with people saying that they can help, you know, and nothing has helped whatsoever. So, you know, I think it's normal to kind of lose, thought that the possibility you're going to get help, you know, for years of trying to get help. So, yeah, this is interesting. I never been a part of all 5 tied together. I can't see if there's not out there, but I've never been a part of it, so I'm excited.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
I'm gladder I'm here.
So tell me a little bit more about what do you know about inflammation?
Inflammation, it happens whenever there's any type of damage to the body. It's a way of protecting itself. So, you know, inflammation, all this fluid goes in and it's actually supposed to be trying to help the situation, but it could also be your worst nightmare and your worst friend, inflammation. That's pretty much what I know about it. I know because I'm a kidney transplant patient. It's a huge, it's a big bad thing for me. And I know it stops me from being able to utilize certain medications that could really help me faster, but can't because of the problem I have and the inflammation. So that's kind of my generic understanding of it, I guess.
Yeah.
So lay it down, groundwork down for me. Tell me really about it.
That you have the right mindset. It's a lot of what you just said is pretty much what inflammation is.
Okay.
Now, you're correct on whenever there's an injury or whenever there's something that happens, you have inflammation flooding that region, and then it could be your worst nightmare if it lingers for a long period of time. Inflammation is there to keep stability and get you that blood flow initially, have the roots start healing. Now, if it's there for too long, healing stops and doesn't really move past the stage of inflammatory phase. As we take the inflammation out, now healing can actually begin. We have the tools and the technology to do so, even without medication. Now, looking at inflammation from a systemic perspective, which is a whole body, that's another big piece that most people are not aware of. Stress, emotional trauma, any kind of PTSD, all those emotional trauma could cause stress to activate a whole body systemic inflammation response, which then can trigger pain, which then can trigger limited ability to heal, and all those pieces.
It's almost like the body is trying to send all these soldiers in to help.
Exactly.
Right. I seen this old like cartoon of it talking about, you cut yourself, so blood cells are running to do this, and this is what their jobs is. So yeah, it's like sending a whole bunch of soldiers in there to help. But when you say, again, in my ignorance, when you say if they're there for so long, so it's like those soldiers getting bogged down, and now they can't move around to do their job, and now it's a problem in that area. Yeah, and I always understood, especially coming from a sports background, your mind, wow, it's incredibly powerful, but it can be your worst nightmare also. And doing so. So for us, stress would cause inflammation. We secrete water, and on stage, then we have this thin layer that we call between the sub-Q water that would then not allow us to look a certain way. So I get it.
Now, we've broken down the phases of healing to really understand what we're really accomplishing here. For the first phase of healing, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks to break down the current scar tissue, decrease the pain, working on decreasing that inflammation so our body can start healing. And then the second phase of healing is within that 8-week period, we can activate certain stem cells in the region that you really need it. So we have technology to fine tune where your injury is and really focus on the root of the problem, to focus on sending those stem cells in the right area so they can become new tissue and new functional tissue for that specific nerve, muscles, or whatever it is.
I got scar tissue everywhere. I mean, you can.
I believe it.
honestly, You can touch scar tissue on me all over the place, so I can imagine how that's enabling growth. I'm even pretty confident that's why I lost my leg from scar tissue.
Once we have this, we're able to enhance the tissue's ability to heal with the ability to repair and remodel that tissue with new cells versus the older cells.
Yeah, that's kind of where you lose me. I just lost hope on that. Yeah.
Well, we have a good a week and a half almost to really work on this. As we move forward, we're looking at preventative measures, sustainability, keeping performance, keeping the function, whatever we did, and just maintain. Any questions on that?
No, trust me, if we get anywhere near close to that, I got the sustainability in the workout. Yeah, I'll take that to a different level for you guys. But, now I barely can't do anything, can't train, can't do anything, mobility, all that. So, again, I'm excited for the possibilities because I'm just like a racehorse just being wound back, If I get healthier, then I'm just going to take off for the hills. But right now, I'm just idle and RPMs just screaming. I guess you can put it that way, in a negative way, right? So, no questions.
So Flex, what I really want to focus on right now is this quote. I want you to actually read it and read it out loud.
Oh, jeez. No. That's my quote.
Yeah.
I use that all the time. I don't even got to look at it. Journey 1,000 miles start with one step. And then I end it by saying, you got to keep stepping. So if you can just take one step, I use that for my clients. I use that in keynote speaking. I always use that, and I fully believe in it. And I seen that on you guys' website, and I was like, no. And I understand the deeper meaning of that, what that means here. And I'll say it before you say it. Flex, this is going to be a process. I'm not going to be able to help you in the next 10 days. You're going to have to come back. It's a process. And then once we do start to get you healthy, it's then a lifestyle after that, which I understand. So I'm already ahead of you. I'm good with you there.
Awesome. So as we move forward, there's a couple of things that I want you to kind of work towards. The first thing is keep an open mind.
I knew you were going to say that. I agree. I agree. I was going to say it. I agree.
There's a lot of different technology. There's a lot of different things that we can do. And we're going to continue integrating a lot of different technology. But us learning your body is going to be the biggest piece.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we needed minimum at least a week to really integrate.
Yeah.
And then once we have that synergy, the communication, the understanding, now we can really fine tune the process better and better. Our goal is to customize the process as personalized as we can it to you. So that way we can really focus on your body. Everybody's different. Everyone has a whole different pillar of healing in their body, how their mind works, and all those pieces. That's kind of what makes us creative. So that open mindset is going to be big for us. And as we start utilizing certain different technologies, you're going to feel more pain because of
body's awakening and healing.
Exactly.
I know. Yeah.
And then as you go through that, rest up as much as you need to, keep your hydration level active, and then we're going to work on that healing process.
Yeah.
Again, we're in this together now.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And you saying this now on camera echoes what I said to you in there. I'm open-minded. Whatever you guys, I'm not going to stop you. I won't be the reason why this didn't happen. Where what a lot of docs are like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that drug. But no, I'm very open-minded. I have a complete open mind. I am aware just because I don't have hope. So I'm wired differently. I didn't, and she's going to be mad at me for saying this, but like I told her and she agreed, I have to be honest on camera. And then I can counter that, but I have to be honest. She don't want to sit here because she don't want to be on camera anymore. So I'm wired different. So you guys know me as an athlete and what I achieved. I didn't believe in myself. I never did. I had very little to no self-esteem whatsoever. But unlike most people are like that, they won't try. I've always had to say, you know, I'm not going to fail because I didn't give it my all, even though I don't believe that's going to happen. I could win a show and be competing against the same people, and I'm like, I don't have hope, but I'm not going to lose because I didn't give everything. Most people who have that type of mind frame, they just won't try.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not going to be because I didn't give it everything I have, but I just, from my lifestyle, from what I've been through as a kid, for what I'm going through right now, come on, I don't have hope, but I flew down here. And like I said, I'm wide open. I'm wide open. It won't be because Flex didn't try. It won't be because that whatsoever.
Are you able to sleep
No.
properly at night or no?
No,
Is
take
it due to the
medication.
pain that keeps you up?
So when I competed, I would fall asleep in between lights, you know, and I would sleep, 10 hours, wake up, roll over on the other side and go back to sleep. Now, no. I started taking sleeping medication before I lost my leg, but now, yeah, definitely, it's just due to pain. And I'm just one of those people, my brain just never turns to freak off,
Okay.
and I'm just constantly so.
Do you sleep on your stomach or on your back?
Used to always sleep on my stomach like this,
Okay.
but I tore both my shoulders really bad. On my third surgeries, I retore again. So now I sleep mostly on my back or on my side, which I know is bad for your shoulders. It's painful when I do it, but no,
And do you feel that usually tired in the morning when you wake up?
exhausted.
Exhausted. Okay. Right. And how many surgeries have you had in the past? I need a whole list of that.
In the past, what? How far you want to go back? Literally, it's been probably
5.
over 100 surgeries.
No, do everything. Get everything.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. First is they had to try to find out because I had colitis and they didn't know it. So this is back in the early 90s. So put me to sleep going down the throat and then a very, very violent way.
Mm-hmm.
The other way, they put me to sleep going up the other way, which is just not normal. From there, I've had countless back surgeries.
Okay.
I've had my knees scraped. I guess they grade them from a 1 to 4, and I was a level 5 at both. That was the last surgery I had. The first surgery I had was back in maybe 2005. So I guess let me go even farther back. In 1998, I had a hernia. And they fixed it. This was before we understood that your core controls your back, not your back and everything else. So I had a hernia. I came in the next week. I was about to do bent over rows, and stupidly, I always used to just grab the bar and just elongate and stretch. I heard this click. I passed out, hit the ground, woke up and didn't know what happened, and just started screaming. So back then, the Barbarian Brothers were alive. I'm sure you remember them.
I do.
They helped me get into my car. I just screamed. They ended up putting me in their truck, going to a doctor. And that's the first time they did an ultrasound and then inject with the needle and everything. That was the first time. And that was just the Pandora's box of just back problems from then. Multiple injections to the point where they're like, Flex, we can't give you anymore. It's too toxic. Don't go back at the gym, wait. So I did wait, and my back's never been the same. So I can't bend over. If I bend over to reach something, I have to stabilize myself.
Okay.
If I just slightly bend over, I'll hear a click. Pain would be incredible, and I'll pass out. That triggered just back pain. So when I retired, I started having sciatic pain to the point where I just couldn't bear it anymore. I kept ignoring it for years. Ended up going into the hospital having surgery. They, as I was telling you, they said we're able to relieve you from pain, but you waited too long. That nerve is dead. So that caused this calf to never fire anymore. So there's a very, very thin strip just on this side here that helps me kind of propel myself. that, then started the other surgery that you've seen. They went back in and took a piece of the disc out. Unfortunately, they not only touched the nerve, they actually tore that film and then touched the nerve. That sent me on a Pandora's box of more surgeries. So the one you had is the last surgery, which didn't work. They were hoping that did work. It didn't work. So now they're looking at trying to just do a complete fusion.
Okay.
Which I'm just trying to refuse and have it. So that's all the back surgeries. Other surgeries, like I said, I tore my shoulders. I tore this one twice. I haven't had it repaired because I tore my left one 3 times, and they're like, we can't fix your right one until we can really fix your left one. So both are now torn, and I'm just on standby to do surgery again. I'm kind of mentally beaten because it's very inconvenient to have your shoulder like that, just sleeping, put it on your clothes and everything, especially being an amputee. So I'm just not mentally ready to go back in and have it done yet. And I'm kind of a little angry about that. So that was 3 surgeries. Kidney transplant, 2003. From my kidney transplant, my donor was very petite. It was a girl from my church. Thank God I gave my life back to Christ, or else I would have never met her. But he's written everything already. I'm sorry, I just got to say that. So they did the surgery, and I guess they were going to put her kidney back in her and just call it a wrap. And one of the surgeons said, no, let's go into his thigh and pull out his main artery. So they did that. They put a graft in, so this leg feeds this leg's blood. Ironically, a day later, they rushed me back into surgery because I had a blood clot here in my calf. I had 9 surgeries in 11 weeks that I almost died from just because of this. Just the fluid buildup kept building up so big it would burst and all that stuff.
And I'm sorry, which side was that?
What side the kidney on?
Yeah.
On the left. Yeah, left side. I can't tell you how many more surgeries I had from that. I just lost count. I just remember I stopped at 9 at 11 weeks. Just countless more surgeries. So, when I lost my leg, the short story on that, I just had been in pain for like 2 years. I was still traveling, and it would literally get so bad I wouldn't even be able to walk. I'd have to stop. The pressure would be so incredible and painful. I'd stop. Eventually, I just told my doctor, like, this doesn't make sense. I've been to the ER so many times. They put a boot on my leg. Just crazy. Just sad stuff. My wife isn't a full nurse. She's a nurse assistant, but oddly, she called it out. She's like, I think he got a blood clot, because she felt it was warm.
Yeah.
And she was like, how in the hell did they didn't figure it out? That should have been the first thing that they thought. So still, they didn't call it. She was saying, I think you got a DVT. I'm like, it's a DVT. I'm like, don't say that, So it took another 2 years for them to figure it out. I got really angry at my doctor, who's a good friend. I'm like, listen, I'm not stupid. I've torn muscles before. I know what that feels like. That's not this. We need to do something more aggressive. Like Flex, we've done everything except an ultrasound. I'm like, well, let's do that. Short story, went in, got the ultrasound done within 1 minute. Whatever they're called, the lady doing the ultrasound, she just burst into tears. And I'm like, so I'm a very emotional person, as you guys know. I burst into tears. I'm like, please tell me. She's like, I can't. I'm like, you gotta tell me what's going on for you to realize. She goes, I can't, let me just finish. And she's like, do you got a stent in your calf? I'm like, no, I have one in my groin area, but not in my calf. She goes, no, you have a stent in your calf. I'm like, no, I don't. And she just started crying again. I'm like, please, you gotta tell me, what it is. She goes, Flex, either you have a stent in your calf that I don't know about, or I'm looking at the biggest blood clot I've ever seen in my life. And it literally went from my calf all the way up into my groin area. At that point, she said, I need to call stat. You need to stay here. Stayed there for a couple of hours. My doctor green-lighted me to drove home. He called me when I got in my garage. And he's like, where are you? I'm like, you know, just put in my driveway. What are you all up about? He goes, Flex, you know, this is serious. I'm like, what do you mean? You're like, you know, you need to get down to the office and we need to get you on blood thinners immediately. I'm like, Doc, I got 24 hours. I'm flying to Australia, you know, and he's like, don't get on that flight. I'm like, you don't understand. You know, that first class ticket, that was 20 grand, and they already paid me half of my money. They're gonna sue my pants off if I don't show up. I gotta go. He's like, you know, Flex, I know you're a hard head. I'm just gonna say it like this. You get on that flight, you're not getting off the same way you got on. I'm like, what do you mean by that? He goes, that's all I'm gonna say. Ironically, my daughter called me and I told her, she's like, Daddy, don't get on that flight. I'm like, baby, I gotta go to work. You know, I pay all the bills for all of us. I walked upstairs, barely made it upstairs in pain. I passed out in pain. I woke up at 11 o'clock at night and my entire right leg was numb. My private was numb. My whole chest, my right arm was numb. I called my doctor at 11 o'clock at night. He's like, get to the ER. I'm like, I'm not going back there. I've been there 3 times. You know, they're a bunch of quacks. He's like, just get there and tell me you got a DVT. I'm like, what's a DVT? He's like, Flex, you don't have time. Get there now. In my ignorance, I stopped at the Burger King. And I'm just being honest. You guys asked me to be honest. I'm like, I'm going to be here for hours. I'm hungry. I might as well eat.
Right.
I got there. My blood pressure was 210 over 205. That just set everybody in motion to change their whole attitude about me. And just like over 30 minutes, a doctor would walk in, walk out. Another doctor would come in with him. It ended up being 20 doctors in my room. Like, how do you feel? And I'm like, what does it look like? You got a grown man sitting there crying, you know, like, how do you feel? I'm like, I'm hurting. He's like, you know, you got a headache or anything like that? I'm like, I always have a headache. And that's when they, you know, kind of explained what was going on. I signed to be put under for 72 hours while they did what's called blood clot busters.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't successful in doing that, and I ended up being in a coma for 10 days. You know, they called my family in to say their last goodbyes. My kidney had failed, and they, I think I sent you guys some of the videos. So that was just a number more surgeries I can't even count. I was out. I don't know. Later on, what they did is they went in and they put cadaver arteries, one on each side. It did work. I was able to walk without pain for about a week, and then the pain started slowly coming back. That was like in March. At that point, I knew I was going to lose my leg. I just had an epiphany. In November, again, it was just so incredibly painful. I couldn't take it. Went back to the ER. They MRI both, and they came in and told me, hey, you know, your left side is 90% blocked, the right side is 100% blocked, and I just said, take it. So that was that surgery of the amputation. But then there was like about 3 more surgeries just from complications. The last surgery that they didn't do, they were going to amputate all the way up to my hip because of the pain I was having and my leg was cold. And they ended up coming back and saying because I had been training that I created enough collateral arteries where I'd be able to keep the leg. But since then, this has been a problem. I think that's the extent of my surgeries.
What about your shoulder?
Yeah, like I said, 3 surgeries.
Torn.
How many?
Yeah, literally 3 surgeries, and both of them are just, I mean, the last surgery on this one, he literally came back and he said, Flex, it looked like a bomb exploded in there. And when he looked at the MRI, he's like, you know, I see a slight tear. I don't know if it's really worth going in there. I'm like, you know, Doc, I can't. So even this arm now, can't raise it no higher than that. That's it. And I showed him like, no, I know when something's torn. He goes, okay, we'll go back in. And he came back and I was like, wow, it looked like a bomb exploded in there. I'm like, what do you, I didn't do anything. So when it tore the 3rd time, all I was doing, I spent the 8 weeks like I was supposed to. I was just putting on my shirt and I just reached out and I heard it crack. I was like, Jesus, not again. So I wasn't doing nothing whatsoever. I wasn't in the gym training. I wasn't an idiot. It just tore again. So he's kind of speculating now because of my blood problem. I'm not getting proper, sufficient blood in there to help it, rehabilitate. So yeah, 3 surgeries on each shoulder. and they're both torn again, waiting for surgeries.
Can I ask you when was the
You can ask
amputation?
me 100% anything.
When was the amputation done, and when
Yeah.
was the last back surgery?
Last back surgery is the one you guys have. I think it has a date on it. I think that was maybe a year
It
a
was
year
last-
ago.
Oh,
At
sorry,
Stanford.
not back, shoulder. Sorry.
Shoulder. The last shoulder surgery amputation was right around September of 2019. I even had that as a kid. They called it hypertension back then, and I used to get these nosebleeds. And I remember as a kid, the doctor explaining to my mother that the leader in my nose would open to release blood to keep me from having high blood pressure. I don't know if you're talking back in the 70s, but yeah, I've had high blood pressure since then. I even remember competing, and I would be doing leg press. It doesn't matter the weight, but over a couple of 1,000 pounds. And I remember depression, and it felt like this part of my head was just going to go pop off. I didn't know that was high blood pressure. I just thought you're moving a lot of weight. That's normal. So high blood pressure. I'm on blood thinners now. I've never had a blood problem in my life. I don't even know how this would even happen to have, blood clots and stuff like that. I'm speculating, my wife is speculating, and a couple other doctors are speculating through my transfusions of when I had my kidney transplant. Technology wasn't that great back then, and that's why no one in my family has ever had that. And I've been an elite athlete since I was 11 years old, so it just don't make sense whatsoever to me.
With multiple surgeries, blood clot is pretty common after you have a surgery. So, and you mentioned that you had tons of surgeries.
Yeah,
so,
a lot back to back.
Yeah.
So okay.
Any other? Do you have pacemaker?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Any allergies?
Lately, it's been at normal in Vegas with the pollen, but normally no. And normally it never would affect me when it affect other people with allergies. But lately, this year, I had COVID 3 times. I got vaccinated, and then Moderna?
Moderna?
Yeah, Moderna. I got that vaccination, got the second shot, and a week later got COVID. I got the first variant. I was in the hospital for 4 months. Almost didn't make it on 10 pounds of oxygen, and they were still going to go higher, and they were threatening to put me under. But luckily, I started changing and coming out of it. Had tremendous scarring of the chest, of my lungs. Actually, I just got a lung X-ray last week, and he was saying nothing, so your lungs completely healed. Just wanted to let you know that, because I know COVID affects a lot of things that we're not aware of.
Okay.
So yeah, got the second variant. Went in the hospital. They just gave me a shot and said you can go home. But then they're like, oh no, wait a minute, you're a kidney transplant patient. We need to keep you over. Got the third variant, and they just said you're fine. Just stay at home. You'll be okay in a couple of days. So yeah.
Any shortness of breath currently at all?
Yeah, I do find that. It's when you had chickenpox when you were younger.
Shingles?
Shingles.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just barely getting over that. Again, because of my kidney transplant, they couldn't give me that stronger medication. They're like, Flex, you're gonna kind of have to ride this out. So for a month, I was literally in the bed, didn't eat at all. So back then I was about 230. Now I dropped down to 180. I just couldn't eat. You know how painful shingles are.
Yes.
So my entire back blistered up. So I couldn't sleep on my back. My entire frontal blistered up, and then I got what they call internal shingles, where you couldn't see it. So all over my chest, all over my side, and all that. Yeah,
Any more lesions right now?
No, they're all gone.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all gone. I'd share it with you if I did, literally.
Any
Share it with you.
ear conditions that we should know about, or eye surgeries, cataracts?
No eye surgeries, no cataracts, no ear problems, no.
Okay.
We understand everything that's going on, at least to some degree. What are you looking for right now?
Copy that. I'm just looking for relief. It would be. For me, it's inconceivable to live a life of no pain. But Wow, I mean, I stay between like like right now, it's dropped down, but I was like at a 9 when we were driving here. So I stay between a 7 and 10. It's been like that for the last 3 years. That's just that's blood curdling to the mind. I can't explain. It just bends your brain than being in that type of pain. Sometimes I'm literally in bed and in a fetal position, just sobbing because just the pain's so great. Even as I expressed to the gentleman, I'm considering not ever walking again. Because it hurts so bad. So even if I don't put on, even this is called a sleep. So even if I'm just laying in bed, it's a lightning storm going on down there. It never stops. Heat, it feels like needles. It feels like pressure. It feels like fire. It feels like literally if you watch a lightning storm, how it just streaks across the sky, that's what it does down there. Never goes away. I never have a chance of relief. So that's just now. So as soon as I put this on, everything squeezes and it's just more intensified.
So would you say that is your primary?
That would be my primary. Yeah, definitely. I can deal with torn shoulders. I don't have to train anymore. I don't care, right? I can deal with my back. I've been dealing with it for a while. I even think I probably can deal with more things if I didn't have something so crazy. That would be like my first. Everything else is like icing on the cake. I know neck bulge is just a contraction problem. I understand that. So I'm just wide open for the possibilities. I'm just wide open. I really don't have too great of expectations because I've been let down. Literally for the last 5 years, I've been let down. So I just don't know. You asked that question, I honestly can't answer. I don't know what's out there for me. I don't know what's possible. I have no idea. I'm just wide open and still trying to diligently find a quality of life.
Okay.
So I guess to simplify that, I'm just looking at some type of quality of life with not being in this type of pain. And if you understand how many different pain levels, areas that I've got coming, my shoulder, this shoulder, my back, my neck, and my leg, that's a lot of different areas of pain. And if I could alleviate one, I'd probably be doing somersaults, literally.
So I understand the right leg is the first priority. The second priority, would it be your shoulders, neck,
My
leg,
back.
low back?
My back. Yeah, because I can't turn. So if I turn, then they grind. You've seen the x-rays. If I turn, they grind, and that just sends me into a point of pain where I'm literally just laying in bed for at least 3 weeks, just crying, waiting for the inflammation or whatever to go away. So that would definitely be second because there's no quality of life with that. So, and like I said, I can't bend over without supporting myself. I'll have to put my arm down to support myself. I just can't just bend over like that. Yeah, that would be the second, definitely.
Is it searing pain, or does it feel like it's going to give out, like you're going to collapse?
Oh no, so it's happened so many times. I've been literally at the hospital and them saying, I don't believe you. I'm like, all right, IV me. I won't do it unless you IV me and get ready for pain. I don't want to be in that pain and then you guys go. So I'm like, okay, IV me, and I'll just bend over. I'll hear that click inside my body. I'll just hit the ground. It's been shown so many times. I've proven it so many times. And even one time, I don't know if you heard of Dr. Hightower.
I'm not.
He's a guy that used a big hammer.
Oh,
And
okay.
but it's a joke. But he's beyond all the degrees and everything. But he was giving me a massage, and he's like, and I'm like, listen, don't touch this area in my back. And he goes, why not? Just don't. And I was at one of my doctor's office, and they were examining. I'm like, don't touch there. And he goes, why? And he put his thumb just very, literally started screaming. And on my way to freaking Stanford, getting IV'd up, and they knew me so well then. I'm like, Flex, we'll go ahead and IV you up in pain, and when you're good enough, we'll have you go to sleep, and you can go home tomorrow. It's just like clockwork like that. So. Yeah, what kind of life
pinpoint
is
the
that?
spot?
Oh, I can pinpoint it. Oh yeah. It's exactly where the surgery scar is when they went in and took the piece of of vertebrae out. Yeah, but I can just. It's almost like a little like lump or knot. I can just touch it. I can show you where it's at. Yeah, I mean it's hurting right now as we
I won't touch it.
talking. Promise, yeah. It's not side aching all the way down. It's just stopping right now about my butt area.
Okay.
Yeah, about the buttocks area.
When you're walking, any shift in weight cause a problem, or is that pretty good?
No, my shift in weight causes a problem because obviously your back just it ain't. What can you not do? Right. Your back doesn't come involved, right? But you don't know that until you have back problems. So, as I was saying, my calf doesn't fire. So I have no way of feeling nothing on here. So I'm wobbling. So each time I wobble, if I wobble too far, then exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you guys are old enough, but I'm like the Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Remember that commercial? If you're old enough to remember.
Right. Probably.
Yeah.
Second oldest in the group. You got in yesterday afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. About what time?
9. I landed at 9. Yeah,
9.
I just remembered. Yeah, 9 at 9. Actually, you want to be specific. 8:45.
No, close enough. Any other pain spots that set you off, like that low back?
Right now, like I said, I have nerve pain just going from my neck all the way down. And I didn't understand it for a while. It was like I couldn't hold my head up back. And I would feel pain, sharp pain there. And I was like, wow, I'm really atrophying. I can't even hold my neck up anymore. And then when I went in, they're like, no, you got a really bad neck pose. But I'm sorry, I forgot one surgery. I broke C5 and C6 in a car accident. I was driving 190 miles an hour. The tire blew out and one end over end. I'm sure you know that already. Yeah. Actually, it wasn't a surgery. They didn't put me in a halo or anything. Actually, the doctor had said, because your muscularity, it kept your spinal cord from being severed.
Yeah.
And I just said, no, you're not that smart. And he goes, no, it's your muscularity. I'm like, no, it was him who allowed me to have the muscularity. So that's what saved me. But they just had me in the hospital for a month. And then I was out, and actually, ignorantly, I competed in 6 weeks. Yeah. But I was a leader athlete. I immediately got fired while I was in the hospital, so I had to go back to work. That's just the way it is as an athlete, So, yeah.
And he still does have that anterior listhesis, C7, so that's still coming up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun stuff. I wish I could share it with all of you.
5 minutes.
Just like, well, just a little bit. It's a joke. Sorry, I've always thought it was a joke, right? That's first. Oh, put you on gabapentin. 300 milligrams, 100 milligrams. It didn't work. So talking to some other amputees, they were telling me how high they were going. 2,000, 3,000, and I researched and found out that it's not no toxicity level. So it's like, all right, let me go up a little. So my prescription was 300. When I ended up having shingles, they put me on 600 in the hospital. Still didn't do anything for my shingles or for my leg. So I went from 6 to 12, then to 16, and when I got to about 28, I started having some incredible relief. And I only started that 2 days ago. Just able to walk around. I was able to bear the pain. I was like, wow, this is heaven. And then my doctor told me, like, no, you got to go back to 3. It's very toxic for the kidney, and it can cause your kidney to fail. So I told him, no, I'm not going back to 3 because it doesn't work. Why put something in my damn system that doesn't work and give me false? So literally, I stopped last night on a plane.
How long were you at that high level, and when did they try to get you back to?
I was at that high level for yesterday when I took off. So 2 days. So I literally stopped. I was taking it every 4 hours. So I literally stopped right around, sometime during my flight, my layover was my layover in Detroit. So around 2 o'clock is when I just stopped completely and went cold turkey. And I woke up this morning and it was fully out of my system. I was 100% back at a 10. So I can't tell you how mentally that just bangs you up, to have some type of relief, and then, find out that you just can't do it no more. There was another medication they put me on. I can't remember what it was. It gave me great relief. They started me out on 50 milligrams, then they took me to 100.
Is it Vicodin?
I wouldn't even know. It's in that.
It's in here?
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No. The one pain pill I have in there, I just brought it. It don't do anything. Normally I'll take like 3 of them when I have to work because there's no way I can walk. So at the Olympia or the Honor Classic, they're massive events, and I work. I have to do interviews on camera and TV. And it would be no way that I'll be able to handle that type of pain walking around. So I would normally take them then, but I don't even do that anymore because now I'm getting comments all from the internet of my eyes just being like this. They're so dilated. And they don't really take me out of pain. What they really do is just kind of almost make me high. Like I can hear some machine running. It's background noise. So it's like my pain would be background noise, but I'm still high. It doesn't give you no relief. So I just brought them to let you know that's what I did. But I don't take them anymore. It don't work. Again, I'm not taking this garbage. Especially these opiates when they're not helping me. It's too much damage, and I'm not going to get hooked on that type of stuff. The other pill that worked, it was from the gabapentin family. I can't remember what it is. I know it was a brown pill, but the side effects were too great. What it cost, I literally thought I was going through pre-Alzheimer's. I was just shaking. I couldn't talk. I couldn't get speech out. My son was actually videotaping for a video I needed to do, and he's like, "Dad, you okay?" And I was literally trying to eat a pizza, and I put it myself. I was like, "Wow." I was like, "When did this start? Let me backtrack." And then I looked at that medication, and it just said all that shaking, this, that, and the other, so I had to come off of it.
What does your blood pressure normally run?
It runs high. They, after all that garbage they have me on, it started now getting low and back to normal. The last time I was in the hospital, like, wow, we got it to normal. But, again, I told you, you guys, I'll be brutally honest, on that high amount of blood pressure, just sexual function is just like, it's very difficult with those type of blood pressure medication, hence, what we're talking about and having to take other substitutes. So that's not, happy at all. It's not fun at all.
Do you have a number for the blood pressure, what it typically is, just so I have a comparison?
120 over 180 is normal. Is that normal?
120 over 80 is like textbook.
Yeah. So I'm like a 140 over 80. I heard that number read off a couple of times. I don't take it as much as I should though. And the reason why is all the machines that I've used, they're so off. I mean, she would sit there and look like, oh my God, let's go to the hospital. And then I go to the hospital, like, no, it's normal. It's not that high. So the home machines, no. I mean, they're not accurate. And for somebody who has, like me, who has real medical problems, I can't be looking at inaccurate numbers. Because then I'm either going to take like the one you see in there, it says, take every time your blood. So I would be taking that constantly, and it wouldn't be really that high. So yeah, I just kind of take them as prescribed and hope that they're doing all right.
So there's a lot of info. Let's do the pulse ox. Let's get the blood pressure with the actual cuff.
Yep.
And manually.
Got it.
And let's go from there. I'll get
I
this.
ate your little things for sugar.
Let me take it out.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Did you like them?
They're kind of sweet. I do like
Kinda
them.
sweet.
I love.
It's very
very sweet. Yeah, very sweet.
These
I
are
love
kinda
sweets, but that's like too much at once. I want to enjoy the whole donut and get that
Yeah.
sweetness, not just
Not
one.
from a bite.
Yeah.
One little piece.
Yeah.
I need to run out.
Yeah.
Oh, we're close.
Really?
142 over 82.
Hey, that's amazing.
Yeah, we'll call
And you know what? I haven't even took my medication this morning.
I'm gonna put this on
Here.
your other finger.
We're all set. 94.71.
94. Yeah. Oh my gosh, man! You ever seen that drop down on 181 when I had COVID? Oh my gosh, jeez.
Here you go, Flex. We can
Thank you.
start taking this.
We're gonna have to go back over here.
Yeah, a lot.
here's what I'm thinking. Before we even go in, what time is it? 1:43.
Which one are you taking right now?
I'm about to take everything. I haven't took anything
Okay.
this morning.
Yeah, so that should be good.
So as your anatomy, right? One thing that I want to show you, nerves connect to the brain. As I take away your muscle, we are able to see all these nerves coming down from the spinal column. And you're able to see all of these nerves kind of translate all the way through, right? So now, when we're looking at all those pieces for nerves, look at that big one going all the way down. And that then becomes multiple very
Splinters in there.
small nerves. It's kind of like a web. And then as you're focused on this, as that big one has sensory receptors being activated, you're going to feel that pain. You're not just going to feel pain, you're going to feel the stabbing, the tingling, the shock and the fire, all that stuff. And that's kind of why you're experiencing those areas. Now, the cool thing is nerves heal. We talked a little bit about this in the beginning. As these nerves heal, that sensation is going to be heightened and heightened. We want to get that to a point where the nerves are going to heal at a nice optimal rate, but also it's a deep nerve, as you can see that with the blood clots. With all the other pieces that we talked about, there's a lot of risk. And as we move forward, we want to be very slow and progressive to getting these nerves to heal. So that'll take some time to learn your body, and it'll also take some time to see how the technology
Sure, how it's
is
working.
working with your body.
I understand.
Okay. Now going back to
You're going back to that. It's 6 surgeries that I forgot to tell you guys about. So I told you in the car. So my pain, what they went in, I guess it's 3 main nerves, one here, one on the other side. So they went in and they injected each nerve. So that's 3 separate surgeries because they won't do them at the same time. That didn't work. Then they went in and cauterized all 3 nerves. That didn't work. The last surgery they did where they went and put the things all the way up my spine, the electrodes, and I had the thing on my hip, and they program it by the phone, and that didn't work. That sent me immediately to a 10. Yeah. When they turned it on, they set it at a very low volume, and then the next day they called me up and okay, like Flex, turn it up. And I turned it up by my phone. I have pictures of it if you want to see what the pack looks like.
So they did a nerve conduction test with the needles, or did they give you an actual implanted?
No, actual implanted.
Okay.
Yeah, the
So
stem, whatever it's called.
stimulator?
Yeah,
Spinal
yeah,
stimulator.
yeah. So they set it at a low setting, and then when I got home the next day, they told me to turn it up, and when I did, it just sent me to a 10.
Okay.
And they just immediately said turn it off, and the next day they came in and took it out. So sorry, I've had so much as we go through it, I'm thinking of other stuff, and also another surgery. So I have the graft here, so it failed, right? So they put in a graft in my chest that goes from my chest all the way down into my groin area. A day after that surgery, it blew, and I bled out everywhere. That caused, obviously, I guess, neuropathy. I didn't know at the time, veins, nerves and blood don't get along. So I lost for a year the entire usage of my right shoulder. Couldn't move anything. I just limp, just completely limp. So I know what you mean about nerves growing back because now I can move it. My bicep, I can probably contract it now, maybe like 40%. But still, these 2 fingers here just still are on fire, So I hate touching things. I hate writing. And, just going like this is like just almost like static electricity. It never goes away. That also, and then this part here is still kind of numb. So that's another surgery I forgot to tell you guys about.
So the entire hand, it's tough to write. So the functions that we want to really focus on is writing, moving your arm a little bit here and there, and pain-free. Keep the tingling out. Let's talk about range of motion. So
Yeah.
when you said getting quality of life back, right? Range of motion, mobility is really important.
Yeah, mobility. Yeah.
When we're looking at the overall picture of the surgeries that you've had, so some of them were nerve stimulating,
Mm-hmm.
some of them were, hey, let's blow the nerve out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're doing two different things. If we heal the nerve, then we have to really just heal the nerve, focus on that. Then if we start blowing the nerve out, then we're killing it, re-healing it, killing it, re-healing it. It's a really tough strategy there. So now when I'm focusing on all these pieces, we don't believe in killing stuff. We believe in getting it growing.
Healing it, right.
And then as we heal, you will feel more sensation all throughout the arm, all throughout your leg.
I experienced that in my bicep. My whole arm. It's like, geez, it hurt. But I started barely being able to move it, so I understood that, and my wife was able to help me understand that. So I do get that. I did it.
Let's really assess range of motion and see where you're at right now. So what I would like you to do is bring your arm up.
Which one?
Doc, if you want to go through all the ranges of motion.
Yeah.
So let's actually do them both at the same time.
Sure. Okay. All right.
If we can.
Yeah.
Or would you prefer?
No.
Okay, just to get a comparison.
Yeah. So you guys need to visually see
I know
what's
the
really
left,
going on.
you can't get much higher than
Yeah,
90.
yeah,
Let's see
yeah.
where you can go.
Yeah. This one would go all the way up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring it back down.
Yeah. That's about right there.
That's it.
That one. Yeah.
And does it feel locked or is it just all the pain?
It feel locks, and then I have pain going up and down. This one, like I said, this one had more surgeries because they're like, we can't do your right until your left is fully healed. So for whatever reason, even though it's torn to shreds, this was like the worst tear you ever seen until he got into that. So that's how bad this one is. But I can still use it. Now I can't use a lot of weight. I can't do side laterals or any of that, but it's functional
Sure.
to be able to use.
Now with that movement you just did,
Yeah.
can you do any rotation here?
Yeah.
Good.
But I can go fully here. You see me,
Right.
So yeah.
And I'm not going to bring you up here. I know
Yeah.
that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it. Okay. Elbow flexion extension. You can do the whole thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Curl the
Is there
fingers.
pain? Is there pain during that?
I always have pain in the shoulder. I mean, it's killing me right now. It just, yeah. So moving it, does it hurt more? No. I mean, obviously, as I put a weight and try to do that, that's going to hurt. But, when I raise it like that, is it more pain? No, it isn't more pain. It's just, so it's like at maybe a 4 or 5, just constantly just throbbing.
Okay.
So,
Okay, and just sitting there, shoulders back and down. Let's tip your head as far as you can go. And let's go both ways.
Any pain?
no pain.
Nothing shooting.
I just
down
hear
the
things cracking. Yeah, no pain.
arms. A little
No.
crunchy.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's
Look
crunchy.
over your right shoulder. And left. Other way, I guess. Okay, good.
That, I feel pain going
Yeah,
all
I'm
the
not
way
going
down.
to tip you back. I already know that hurts.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you tuck your chin though? Any problem there?
I feel it pulling and pain then going down my shoulder.
And because these shoulders, the rotator cuffs are the way they are,
Yeah,
all the muscles around them are going to stay tense to try to compensate.
yeah. They lock up trying to keep you from preventing any further injuries, right? Yeah, yeah. And even when the muscle heals, they stay locked up, and sometimes you have to go in and rough and deep tissue.
Think of it this way. Yes, they're going to stay tight. Those big muscles, your traps, your levator, all those things, those are linemen. Rotator cuff is a marathoner. If you get rid of the marathoner, you ask a lineman to run a
To
marathon.
do a job that it ain't meant to do.
No.
Yeah.
So that's the piece.
Yeah, my the first surgery I had, he explained that to me. He goes, your shoulders is ruined from all the 300-pound shoulder press back there. He said, now that you don't have the muscularity, your tendons are being acquired to do the job that they're meant to do, and they're not up to it, and they're just snapping from all obviously the agents that I use that cause them to get brittle and all that. So I understand that.
As you look at the shoulder girdle, we have the nerves passing right through. You see all these muscles, and then we have a layer of bunch of nerves passing through.
Mm-hmm.
That will also keep inflammation in here as well. So as we heal these nerves, that pain that's going down, it'll help. But we also have that disc lesion in the neck where a lot of the nerves. where a lot of these nerves come out of, which really changes the entire game of healing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to work on. This is kind of going back to the entire body as a whole versus just looking at the leg.
Yeah.
Now looking at the spine. So everything is connected.
Yeah, I understood. So yeah, sorry, that did cause pain. It's killing me now. I gotta be honest. I'm over here frowning at him, and I don't want to think you frown. I'm frowning at you, but yeah, it just sent me
Okay.
crazy right now.
So tell us where exactly.
I feel it up here, and it's just radiating, going down.
All the way down.
A lot in my trapezius, and it's just radiating, going down. But it's most intense, like from this area here.
Mhm.
It's most intense, and it's just it's. It's not really a nerve pain
So the motion.
that I used to feeling here.
So there's different variations of nerve pain, but when you moved, so functionality, mobility, going back to that, you're probably not used to doing that because you're guarding it.
Mm-hmm.
Now the minute you start using those muscles and using all those pieces, the nerves are activating, the muscles are activating, inflammation is pulling back in.
That makes sense.
So we need to get the inflammation out, get that healing process to actually start, so we have some movement forward.
And that's a conversation we had earlier, how inflammation can be a culprit, or so now it's been my enemy here.
Yeah, but we have some tools to that
Copy
can help you.
that. Copy that.
Inflammation's just not a bad thing. We just have to control it.
Right. Understood.
So let's take it slow here today. All right, we're not even gonna work on the knee yet,
Mm-hmm.
but there's an area that I see that is revolving around compensation, which is your shoulder. If the clearance from your brain all the way going down is disconnected right here, there's gonna be a very tough priority of that healing spectrum to kick in all the way to the bottom of the extremities, the spine, and the low back. So even though I understand your priorities down there, we gotta start healing from
Right.
the top right now.
And I fully like I said, I'm fully wide open. I understand what I may say and I think is a priority. You guys see differently and understand differently, so that don't bother me. Like I said, my job is to answer your questions honestly. I'm not an expert in this room. We're not talking about bodybuilding or physical fitness, so I shut my mouth. But I gotta be honest and tell you guys what I think
100%.
in order for you guys to truly be able to help me. I can't keep this from like, oh, this no, I shouldn't say that. So yeah, I get it.
Our goal is to definitely work on that. But as we're learning, I'm just looking at all those pieces that we really need to focus on knocking together.
In some of this flex, we're going to have to test the waters, if you will.
I know.
And sometimes take an indirect approach to get where we need to and find a tolerance level for the tissues we're treating before we attack the major culprit.
I understand.
So
I understand. I'm not thinking that I'm gonna be healed after 10 days. I know this is a process. I know this is like a major marathon, and it's a lifetime marathon. I know that I'll be in pain for the rest of my life. I get it. Hey, listen, I use my body to make money. That's like a linebacker in NFL. You're gonna have neck and back problems for the rest of your life. That's the cost we pay for using our bodies. I'm not stupid. I'm not thinking that. But like I said, man, if I can get some quality of life, that would be amazing.
That's our goal.
understood.
And these are fresh scars. So I had 2 shoulder surgeries within a year.
Yeah, we are gonna have trouble using the laser, my friend.
Because of the tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be very careful.
Laser because of the tattoos?
So what would the laser do?
It melts. It's gonna just melt
It would take them away? I don't care about that.
Not really take them away. It's gonna start burning it. It's gonna.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't wanna.
It
Burn
is, so
it
it'd
like
be
it
painful wise.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that sucks. Trust me, I'm all over the place, nervous, freaking incredible pain. So sorry about all the jokes. Like I said, it's either that or
I
tears.
did. I went to range of motion. I did to gloss a little bit, and I was.
It just, yeah, you're right. Because I won't do it because I know better, right? But I, ignorantly wanted to show you guys. But yeah, wow. Definitely. I don't feel any pain or discomfort from you.
Right now, what we're doing, Flex, is prepping the area. Come on in.
What's it feel like?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, I heard it both. You didn't hear both of the knees? What? Crap.
Have you done any kind of laser before at all?
No, I've done sound wave.
Which one after that?
Okay.
No laser though.
What do you mean by sound wave? Like a shockwave therapy?
Shockwave, yeah, shockwave
Oh, you have
therapy.
done
Yeah,
that
yeah,
prior.
yeah.
Do you know the name of it?
It was called. Actually, I got videos of it. I can pull it up and we can look at it. Ultrasound or sound wave? Was it sound wave? Do you guys have any reason to believe that, being that I broke C5 and C6 and C7, that this is why the neck bulge is happening, or are they
Oh yeah.
really?
And if not, it at least significantly contributed to it.
Mm.
Just kind of started the cascade.
Mm.
You didn't always play nice though, but so there's multiple factors.
No, yeah. I guess crashing at 190 miles an hour isn't a good thing for your health.
Typically avoid it.
I had bought my first Mercedes-Benz SL 500, and
Cool.
I tricked it all out and everything, and I literally took it back 7 times within 2 weeks. So I was going to try to sue them under the lemon law, because they kept just giving me, like, back then they would just give you a garbage piece of car, and I'm like, why? I bought 100,000. You guys put me in a freaking Yugo. I'm like, I got an image, right? So they gave me one of their loaner cars, and that's the car I crashed. And I was like, geez, it took...
Good you crashed that one.
Exactly. Well, so I crashed, and I was like, wow, they took the speed governor off of there. You know, this car is faster than mine, and mine was chipped, right?
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I fell asleep. Now it took years to realize what happened. I fell asleep, I hit... And I remember the passenger front tire was low of air, and I was going to put air in it. So I fell asleep. I hit the guardrail because I was on a speeding lane, and I yanked it back, which sends all that centrifugal force to that weak tire, and it bit in and then just went end over end down the freeway. And ironically, my training partner, it was at 4 a.m, drove by, and it took him like 3 years to even talk to me about it. He's like, I'm not talking to you about it. And when he finally told me, he's like, man, you know, when I drove by, my immediate thought was like, geez, whoever in that wreck didn't make it. And then he said he's seen me hobbling, sitting on a freeway, and he pulled over and he goes, man, it was like just dried up blood sickles everywhere because my eye was exploded, my ear was ripped off. I broke my
Collarbone?
Yeah, collarbone. Oh God, that's painful. And he sat there talking to me, and I was asking him what happened. You know, I was like, Rico, what happened? He goes, what do you mean what happened? You know, you're in a car accident. I'm like, who was driving? You know, and he's like, you were. And I was like, was anybody else in the car? And he's like, no, you're by yourself.
Clavicular fracture, right?
Dude, you have a similar story to
Sorry, I
Dr.
forgot to tell you about that too.
Yeah, I had
Jeez.
that too.
Yeah, it's coming out.
There'll be more.
Yeah, as we go on.
Where did you put my
Laptop's right there. In front of me.
Have you ever watched Doctor Strange? The
Yes,
movie?
I love it.
Dude, you're like him. You're exactly like him.
He's on the movies. I'm not, man. He got a cape that
Dr. Strange.
like blows in a wind. I don't got one. You know?
You know the story of Doctor Strange, right? He was driving really fast. And he
Yeah,
literally.
yeah.
That's what
rolled
got him
over
into
the
be a
thing.
doctor. Yeah.
Neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, he wasn't dyslexic. You know, he could make a movie off of it. I don't got a cape that like waves in the wind and stuff like that. You know, and all this. So I chipped my car, but you got to understand, my car had a speed governor on it, and it's computerized not to do a certain thing. He's like, what happened? And I told him, and the doctor was still asking, were you drunk? He's like, no, man. He's arguing. He's like, no, Flex don't drink. He just sat there. He don't drink. So his lawyer, Dr. Dre's lawyer, is like, I'll take that case on pro bono. Oh, we're going to own Mercedes, you know, because it was their car. So obviously they made tires not capable of that speed. It threw me into the passenger seat, so the seat belt didn't strap me in. We sued them all kind of the Airbag didn't deploy, you know, so we just thought we had them.
Did you win?
No.
Against Mercedes, big. I was about to say that's a big corporation.
So
I don't know how you win against them.
no. So the lawyer firm found out through research. So like it's two companies you don't ever win against.
Yeah, of course.
That's Mercedes-Benz and Disney. And people might think Mercedes-Benz not powerful. They might think Rolls-Royce is, but no. There's more Mercedes-Benz on the roads than it is Bentleys and all that stuff. So they're the most powerful company. And they came down. I remember my boys telling me, it's like, man, we drove down the 10 freeway and there's all these big body Mercedes-Benz, so they sent all the people from Germany, and I lied about my speed. They came in within 1 mile of my speed. They were like, you were traveling from 191 to 189 miles an hour. And
I love math. I love statistics.
So they stressed the lawyer, the firm out and almost bankrupt them. And after that, they turned around and sued me for damage of their car. Yeah, personally sued me, damage of your car, release a lawsuit or else we're coming after you. You damaged our car. And then they were going to get the city of Los Angeles in because the freeway was ruined. It was just grooves all in it. So they're like, drop your law or else. And then as an embarrassment, they gave me a $5 check. Just as a slap in the face. Their argument was the car, which is interesting because they changed things after that. Their argument was the airbag didn't deploy because it was a rear impact, because the car went end over end. And they said the front end was actually ripped off. So the airbag never deployed because it was, but notice now, sidebar, all those airbags are in the car now. So, yeah.
Wow, no more Mercedes, dude. You can't,
and I actually had
that S-Class anymore, dude.
No.
You can't get it now.
Tesla.
You heard the story.
Tesla, brother, Tesla. 190 miles an hour. So, like, I don't know about here, but like in California and Vegas, the freeway is below the surface street. So my car actually went up the embankment, the side embankment, all the way up to the top and hit a telephone pole and helicoptered back down. And this is from an ongoing car telling me windshield never broke.
Wow.
Windshield never broke. And I had the soft top. I didn't have the hard top on there. That's crazy. Windshield never broke.
Dude, that's God did. That's like an angel.
Oh yeah, come on. I mean, C5 and C6, that's what ended Christopher Reeve's career, right?
C2.
C2, oh, was it? Jeez, so it's even
Who's
higher.
Christopher Reeves?
What? Get out of here. Kick him out of here.
Who
You
is
know
that?
Christopher Reeves, right?
Oh,
Dude,
Superman.
You gotta go.
I mean, I call him Superman, not Christopher Reeves. So just so you guys know. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
That was 94. I turned pro in 93 and had the honor of competing against Lou Ferrigno, Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that guy.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk. I had the honor of competing against him. And other than my best friends, he was like the first person who came to the hospital to visit me. It was just incredible, man. And ever since then, we just like been bonded.
Was that his comeback?
Yes, 1993 is when he made his comeback. Yeah, he looked great. I mean, he placed like 13th place, but you got to look at it. The guy was 45 years old and achieved that physique. Come on, man. When you're younger, you really don't, appreciate that. You're just a young beast and everything. But when you get older and you look back and you look at, what some older people done. I mean, like Jack LaLanne. I don't know if you know anything about him. I mean, the dude swimming in the ocean, pulling like big boats. Really? What kind of like natural strength he had? And that was before all this crazy drugs that we can take. What is it? The hot water balloon, remember? Blowing that thing up and causing it to burst. Jeez, that's some amazing feats, And he wasn't a young spring chicken.
What's that?
Yep.
I can't believe just from turning my neck, all this is sore and it's like radiating down into my shoulder so crazily. Don't ask me to do that again, buddy. All right? Just saying.
We won't test it again.
Huh? Use those at the range later.
We will test it actually after
Oh,
this
yeah.
treatment.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm just gonna lift up. Yeah. Now, tell me if this is relieving or if it causes pain. Anything there.
Doesn't cause pain.
Okay.
Don't know if it's any relief or not.
Okay. And that's okay. I'm gonna let down.
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay, we can distract.
Mhm.
And so
Okay.
what we're gonna do is
Here,
open
Doc.
up the joint just a little bit,
Mhm.
so it decompresses.
Yep.
So then this can push in.
Get in and do its job. I got you. Understood.
All right, and I'm gonna reach around here, just to help so I stay out of her way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I have the towel. Just follow my lead on this one, okay?
And if anything starts bugging you, let me know.
Copy
please.
that.
All right, lifting up just a little bit, nice and light.
Before we start it, Flex, two things. Any area you feel pain, you let us know.
Okay.
Any area that you don't feel pain, you let us know.
Okay.
You can rate that pain on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest.
And
Understood.
we already know that you're up high, but let's talk just about the
If it,
fluctuations.
copy that. Copy that. Understood.
Any spikes,
Understood.
we need to know.
Any
Understood.
area that's painful, that means
Let you
there's
know
an injury
immediately.
there.
There is an injury,
Understood.
bad tissue there.
Gonna lift up.
Go ahead and start it.
It's gonna be loud.
Can you feel anything?
Not yet.
Any pain at all?
No. Mm.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
How high is that spiking pretty high, or is it just a little bit?
It spiked just a little. Yeah.
That's all injured.
That's it was more like a nerve. It was like a shock.
How far to go down?
It just went directly in. It didn't shoot down.
So we're gonna clean that up right now, okay?
That again.
Can you
Just-
handle that?
Yeah, I can. It's more like a
Right here.
yeah.
Your ears okay, Flex?
Yes, they are. Yeah, again.
Okay, let's pause a little bit. Let's test. Just a tad bit. We're gonna do more,
Okay.
but this is just a testing zone for about 200 pulses for now.
Okay.
Giving me some work too.
I know, that's what I was saying. How's your shoulders and your bicep, man? You got to get a workout.
You gotta stay out of the way of the shot.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you worked out yet or not on upper body.
I'm
but,
getting it right now.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna start from the bottom, right there, okay, and go all the
Okay.
way up. The reason why is because those areas compensate for the neck a lot.
Understood. And I can feel the tightness immediately as soon as you put that in there.
Let us know if you feel anything.
Right there. Go back. Yeah.
Hold it right there.
It's bearable.
Scale of 1 to 10, what do you think?
4.
Yeah.
You can hear the difference.
Right here. Do you feel it?
I do. Nerve pain is just different frequencies of like electric pain.
Anything there?
No, very little.
Okay. Let's wait a little bit. Let's try to see and have you turn your head.
Until I turn more, I can tell.
Good.
So here, it's like here now when it's almost stopping. So I think in my ignorance, because it's injured on this side, if I turn, it doesn't cross that muscle in trapezius to flex, right? But as soon as I turn this way, I
Yeah.
feel it. Oh yeah, I feel it incredibly tight.
Okay, so stay in that position
Copy
right
that.
now, and we're
Copy
gonna
that.
hit it.
So Doc, what are your thoughts on stem cells?
Go ahead.
I'm a believer. We're doing it right now.
Really, it's so hard. They're trying to keep you guys from being able to do that here, huh? They don't want that to happen here, do they?
The only thing I believe you can get adipose derived and amniotic still. But you have to go out of the country for anything else.
Yeah.
Flex, can I grab your arm? Just here. Let's just drop it in here just a little bit. Doing okay yet?
Yeah.
Anything?
Oh yeah. Ooh.
That's the nerve.
That was a nerve you down, right? Jesus.
We're gonna heal it though, okay? Just let that happen. I know it's painful.
No. It's nothing I haven't felt
Oh,
worse.
it's right
Jesus
there.
Christ. Yeah.
Deep breaths.
Keep breathing.
Is it a 10?
when it changed frequency, yeah, and like now it's about a 9. And to be honest with you, I've experienced so much pain, I have to almost ask myself, am I in pain? And if I'm squinting or crying, I'm like, dude, you are in pain. But that's how long it's been going on. I'll just sit there and just be grinding my teeth and not aware of it.
So all the areas that you felt pain,
Mhm.
those are all injuries. And everything that you didn't feel much, those are all healthy tissue. So now you know exactly where we're really targeting stuff.
I think I knew already. I'm believing it is, but yeah, definitely. So that's wild. When I can turn a little bit more now.
I can already see that.
And we still have the scaling up in here. We'll
So-
have to-
So hold on, for the scaling, this is how we have to do it.
See the sound? It's like
All
going.
inflammation. Continue clearing it slowly.
do it.
Right there.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ. I feel like going down my tricep.
on the nerve.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as soon as I get here, obviously it locks up and the pain starts back.
You have a lot more range of motion.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
Over there.
Look at that. That's
And
like a
it
lot.
moves 10 degrees even to the right.
Yeah.
So shoulder now. You want me to try to raise it?
Yeah, keep
Forward.
just keep it bent and just come.
Oh, just come this way.
Stop right there. 1 second. Just relax down. Let it go. Okay. Now come up right this way. Okay. All right.
Painful right there?
It locks up, and the more I try, it's like fighting against something. When you let it down, all right here was painful. So it's almost more deceleration that kills me
The eccentric.
than you guys use the MC eccentric. That's more painful. So I can raise it up. Is when I let it down. So even trying to drive, sometimes I'll accidentally put my hand up. But when I let it down, I have to let it just fall down, because if I control it, then those.
I gotcha.
Okay.
You might have some weird nerve type of symptoms. It could be cold, piercing, hot. It might feel
And that's
better.
just them turning
We
back
don't know.
on.
Yeah. There's a short in the system, or rebooting.
Got it. Understood.
Yeah. So next couple of days are gonna be, somebody's gonna be good, somebody's gonna be bad, and just go through it. It's part of the journey. So I think now what we can do is we're gonna go from this room to that last room.
You want to bring it in?
Or we can just bring the piazza.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring the Piazza in.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a different type of a feeling this time.
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm just oh, there we go. Yeah.
Do you feel his hand on?
Oh, jeez, what was that? Oh
right.
God, that's painful.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, that's a 10, and it's streaking down my my trapezia to my back.
That's okay. Continue deep breaths.
We're still on it.
Yeah, you just got it. You're on it right now. Good grief.
There you go. Keep breathing. Big breaths. That's actually helping that shoulder move a little bit when you take deep breaths. It's helping us out.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Oh, freak me.
Wait.
No. It's not you. It's what you have in your hand.
Oh my god.
That's painful. Oh my God. Wow. That's
You
just
all
some different type of pain. I'm okay. Yeah.
Right there.
Wow, yeah.
And
So-
just head a little bit this way.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
you're going to go back to center.
Yep, continue
Understood.
moving.
Yeah, just back and forth, just like that. Just neutral to me, back, nice and slow. There you go. Keep breathing.
Yes.
That's a super spinatus.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
All this damage. Yeah. And there's a pretty big, there's a pretty good one actually.
Just deep breaths.
Let's pause it real quick. Take a breather, Flex.
Yeah.
Was it like a 10 all throughout, or was it like a 7, 8
Yeah.
It was high form.
high form?
Want to cry?
Very
It's okay. Let go.
I don't care about crying in front of nobody.
There we go.
Look at that.
There we go.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Coming back.
Even she was like,
That's
okay.
Go slow, okay?
Looking over his shoulder now.
Mm.
Look at that.
Mm.
Check
Are we getting this on video right now?
Dude,
We're about to do the before and the after,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
See, you can check your blind spot again. It's the little things in life.
Yeah.
Huh?
Check your
You
blind
can check
spot.
your blind spot again.
She do something stupid, I can shake my head better.
That's
There you
right.
So let's talk more about the pain. When you were all the way on the right side, tell me more about what that felt like.
As I pushed, right, I could have stopped, but I was just really trying to push, just right.
So hold that position right there. Okay?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's what I was gonna do.
So hold that position and then dock traction a little bit.
Yep. We're going to lift up again. Creep up just a little bit more.
You go down a little, you're right on it, and go to your our right a little. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Hello. Oh, Jesus. Don't make me laugh.
Tuck your chin.
Jeez. Oh, freak me. Yeah. Oh, God. Jesus. Yeah, that went all the way down my, that almost went all the way down literally my butt.
We're going to
That's
keep making,
sciatica.
tuck the chin.
Wow,
back up,
yeah.
Relax it. Let's go again. Make that
Jeez.
movement.
Alright, good pause.
Pause.
Yeah.
Right there.
Go to, yeah, there, oh, yeah, there we go. Jeez, yeah,
Keep that position, okay?
I got you.
It's more like on here.
We're gonna
Jesus
stick
Christ.
right there. We'll come this way just a hair.
Flex, talk to us.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Okay.
Don't
A
be.
little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm okay.
While you're talking, Doc, I'm going to do another pain protocol.
Sheena, you don't get a pair.
I don't want it.
Just specials.
I don't want it.
So Flex, going back to our conversation with mobility with the pain is all those pieces. When you look towards the right side, after 45 degrees, you had a pain that started. Now you're almost at like 70.
Yeah,
So based on those pieces, we're heading in the right direction.
yeah.
And the same thing with your shoulder. A couple things that we want to focus on in the next couple of days is seeing what your body can tolerate. The oxygen in the hyperbaric chamber is going to amplify this. But today, we don't want you to do too much. Just kind of rest it off, make sure your nutrition's good to go, all those pieces. And
So you
then-
mean pizza wasn't the best thing to eat, nutrition-wise?
Right now, actually, it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
We needed the sugar.
You needed the sugar for all this stuff.
That monkey bread was good, huh?
Monkey bread, that just don't sound right.
What would you call it?
And little pieces of, what is it, cinnamon
Little
bun?
cinnamon, yeah.
Cinnamon.
That's what I said,
What the
yeah.
hell? It's
That's
little
what I
pieces
said.
of cinnamon bun. It
Yeah.
sounds like
Monkey
a
bread.
cluster of cinnamon buns. That's what it is, a cinnamon bun, right?
It is a cinnamon bun.
Where does the
Give me
monkey
right
come
now.
from? Because you're picking
Because
it,
the
maybe?
monkey
But
picks
you
the
know,
Maybe
when you
that's
get
it.
the
I
hair
get it,
off
I
of
get
it,
it.
goes
Because there's
in.
little clusters and you're picking them off. That
Yeah.
don't make no damn sense, though. where the monkey part comes from? You don't want to get up in
Hey, right
there.
after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to crawl too deep up in here mentally. Yeah, you get lost in there.
So when I was holding his arm, when we were doing that, actually I could feel the contraction of the humerus coming up, that they were starting to guard in there.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think we tape them after this.
Makes sense.
Did you guys do rock tape?
We're about to do that right
Oh,
now.
wow.
I remember when they first started out
Yeah.
in San Jose. They used to sponsor me when they were first. They were like at every event. No, they're all over the world, huh?
I remember putting that on some.
Sounds like familiar.
Sounds like a familiar story. Robbie, welcome. I love it. Everywhere. Man. The David versus Goliath story, dude. That's all it is.
There's a lot.
They are the Goliath, and we have to be that David that throws that stone. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Good example.
Yeah, that's a great example. And they are Goliath. Man, we're talking a $1 trillion industry.
Yeah, I mean, healthcare is responsible for, I think, 2 out of every $5 that is spent right now. At least in America. I don't know about everywhere else. I mean, I think there are other people are more healthy outside of America.
I also got kids, so I'm always worried if they call me like at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's an emergency. My brain is always nerve-wracking, worried about them. Right? Our kids is just everything.
That's what good dads do.
What? See how I lessen my jokes and who starts up? Okay, I'm just pointing that out, you know. The opposite.
I'm thinking a little bit right now.
Oh, you're always thinking. I could tell. I could tell. Even in my jokes, you're like. You notice how I lean away because of the pain instead of leaning into it.
Bring it back just a little bit.
We've seen really good results and stability with it. It's all about how you put it on.
Yeah. It's a technique.
So we're just gonna do a neutral
That's kind of like with anything. Any technology.
taping,
It's always as
just
good
to
as the
pull up
user.
around the actual socket itself.
Just sorry.
No, you're good. There we go. Mike, how are we doing right here, Flex?
Hmm.
How are we doing right here?
I think
I'm
we should
sure
def-
you could feel the
We should
oh
definitely do
jeez,
that.
that was a knot.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Really? Is it bulging that bad?
No, I just
I
see
could-
the skin
dis-
texture.
Oh.
This is gonna hold that skin just a little bit away from that C6 level.
Copy that.
Okay. That should help. Now let's do one final check. Let's rotate that head.
About right there before it starts hurting too bad.
Okay. It's coming back. Yeah.
About right there before it pulls again on this side.
Okay. The
That's
tape.
a-
It's still better
That's
than it
the-
was
The
before.
tape is there to.
I feel the resistance,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's still better than I was when I came here.
So now just kind of move around a little bit here and there. See if it's looser.
You don't have to move your arms, but just shrug your shoulders, move your head, roll it out a little bit.
He's always in certain positions, though.
He's guarding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're always guarding your
yeah.
guarding it.
So here's one big thing I don't want you to do. Don't test it.
I won't. Other than you guys asked me to. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
No.
because
Does it still hurt? No, I don't do
the
that.
tendency is going to be, okay, how far am I moving now?
No, I won't.
Leave
I
it
trust you. No. I don't want to know because even when you guys have me do it, the pain starts, but it doesn't stop when I turn my head back. It just freaking ramps up and slowly goes down. So no, don't worry about that.
Good.
Yeah. No. I don't even want to test it when you guys ask me to. I'm down. I'm not going to try it when I'm not around. Yeah.
So I think we're gonna wrap up today from this, and then give your body a good 10-15 hours of sleep, as much as you
Yeah.
can.
Where's my
You
gosh?
just listen.
You got a sledgehammer?
I'm not gonna.
I actually got one.
Did you want to go and?
We actually have a hammer and a tire on.
There's a tire and a hammer out back. I saw it.
Will said give you guys some context, so I'm gonna try and do my best, right? What you guys just witnessed was a miraculous conception, right? You saw a guy that literally told you that the excuse that we give for ourselves every single day, there is somebody who's going through so much worse. Now let me tell you what he's gone through. 200 something surgeries. When you start to understand his range of motion, right? He didn't have full range of motion in most of his body, right? He could barely turn his head from left to right, right? There were so many things that he was experiencing, between deep scar tissue, right? That had to get ironed out, so to speak, or PZO'd out, right? There was so much stuff that he had to undergo just to feel that much better, right? And so at this specific facility, Club 5, they say that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And today, Flex Wheeler, he took the first step. It was super exciting to see. It was super amazing to witness. And now you guys at home got to witness something so miraculous, which was a return of his range of motion. Now, I'm not saying that it returned in the full extent that it can over the next 9, 10, 15, 3 month, 3 month, 6 month, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year experience and journey where it could go. But what I am saying is that we witnessed something that this patient came in and they didn't even think it was possible for themselves. He told you that he didn't even have hope. The first thing that he said was that he didn't have faith. And then, out of nowhere, he said, I'm going to stop telling myself that I'm not going to have faith. And so he changed the word faith to hope. And when he changed the word faith to hope and said he doesn't have hope, but he does have faith, God stepped in the room with us. And it was so cool to see that Flex is getting better day in and day out at such an amazingly blessed place like Club 5 in Green Bay.
And subscribe.
And subscribe.